Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the third
Hello.
hour of Downfall, an RPG by the wonderful and amazing Caroline Hobbs. And it is a game about building a society and then lighting it on fire. Our game has been about a mountain empire called Apex, set in a fantasy kingdom where the higher you are on the mountain, the more affluent and prestigious you are. And we are telling a story about Theo, an animator who gives names to people because names have power in our society, and people with good names get good jobs.
Hmm.
So the person who gives the names has a lot of power.
Yes, he does.
But he's been recently crestfallen with the idea of the whole charade of names and power and organization because apparently our religion and our society are sort of hypocritical about how things happen. And it's not very fair. And there's a lot of extra suffering. And so we're going to, and currently he's dealing a lot of it, having a lot of issues with his wife and his coworkers. But we're going to see in this later half of the game how maybe a little bit more about society and a little bit more about just how everything's going to happen and change.
Hmm.
So, um, I think we've just finished playing three different rotations, so we're back to where we were at the very start.
Hmm.
With me being the hero, Adam, you're the fallen, and Ryan, you're the pillar, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Indeed, do.
Ryan, go ahead and pick one of those six traditions.
Uh, let's do economics.
Mm.
Okay, awesome. Um,
So I think it's about where they live, about where Theo and Humility live compared to someone else.
yeah,
Hmm.
no, I got exactly what it is.
Cool.
Um, so we are Theo without a bracelet is walking to the great sepulcher of the mountain, which is near the top, right? And there's a lot of construction on the path up there, and people are giving him weird looks because everyone's heard the rumors of what he's done, right? But while he's walking up there, like hands either like in his like tunic or whatever, or like hands, to like the side or whatever, like because he's feeling uncomfortable. There's a rumble, and people up around the bend of the mountain say, "Look out!" and like careful. And there's this shake, and there's this collapse of like not like a landslide, but like just like there's like a rumble, and some buildings start like falling down,
Yeah.
like near him, and they start like snowballing and taking out other buildings below and below. And like it's like a big emergency, and he steps in and like to help out people, and like the rich people are like, oh, don't touch me, you're not you know like like
Yeah.
sinful. um and I think that's where the scene will begin with Theo helping this old man named Thaddeus, and like get out of some of the rubble. And I'll indicate how the flaw and everything works from here. Okay.
Hmm. Who should be
So
Thaddeus?
he is a pillar.
Okay.
Okay.
Um. Oh. Sir, don't move, don't move. Let me help you. There's
Get
this
off
beam
me,
here.
you heathen!
No. Trust me. Here. I'm sorry. Here, let me help.
He's like rebuffing you. He's like you try to like grab his hand and like help him up. He's like reaching his hand away and like he's
Yeah.
like starting to slip, but he's like even though he's definitely like close to like falling into like the like pile of rubble, he's like rebuffing all your attempts at helping him, and he's
Yeah.
like shouting like vulgarities at you, or he like
Sure.
just tries to help himself.
Um. Now, Thaddeus, like I'm sorry, but like maybe it's not my place. I'm sorry. It's just
It isn't.
it seems so weird that like I didn't cause this. Like not like why are you blaming the lower people too in your curses? Like they didn't cause this.
How does Thaddeus react to this?
Like clearly this is the poor's fault for doing this.
Yeah.
He's very irrational about it. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I just need to blame somebody about this fucking
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, it's like I'm sorry about like was this your house? Did you just did you lose your view? Cuz I'm so sorry. I totally understand.
and I think it like pans to like behind or where the landslide is. And it's like
Yeah.
it's like his like it's like Daddy's house, and like 6 other houses just like came crashing down from the top of the mountain.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now-
And they just like took out like a flurry of like other houses midway down. But you can see that most of the help is like rushing to the top and like and like it will work its way down eventually. If it does. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like
now-
it's
now
very much
Thaddeus is just angry tonight because like now just because his house is like I think like the houses like I think it wasn't just like they were like crushed. I think they just like the like there's just like a small landslide and they just like slid down.
Yeah.
It's like his
Oh,
house
yeah,
is like
I mean, these-
mostly
Yeah.
intact. It's just stuck down here now. So
Mhm.
now like,
Oh!
he lives
Yeah.
with now he's stuck with the fucking
in a lower position.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
just because of like an unfortunate accident.
Yeah, but he
That's awesome.
okay, yeah.
And
but he's-
now he hates it.
Yeah, and he's blaming the people like that.
Yeah.
This is totally below him, and it's totally the poor people's fault for building this house so poorly. Like, oh, that's awesome. Cool. I think the hero. I think Theo's gonna try to still like talk him out of it, being like, listen, like you don't. Like it'll be okay. Like you're still look how high you are. Like your view is not like as bad. Like it's still look at everyone below you. Like their views are off. Like like look at all of the good you have. Like I'm trying to remind you of like you're right. You did lose maybe like 8% of your view, but you're still better than like 88% of everybody
He's
else
like,
already, right?
"Shut
Yeah, yeah. And he's
you
like
know,
you're
your
like
house is
yeah,
already was way below mine. You just saying that because your house is
Yeah.
now above mine.
yeah,
Like, get out of here with that.
yeah. Oh yeah, like you know what he probably mentioned something. It's like you low altituders, like you come up here spouting nonsense because you're not used to breathing this pristine, clear, like low oxygen air up here, right? Like, because that's how high the mountain is or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like yeah, like you're not used to like this kind of stuff. You always like just spout nonsense. Get out of here.
For sure, definitely.
Yeah, totally. Okay, I think that's probably seen.
Yeah. He sees all the like the hypocrisy, and we used to get like a scene of him like we get like the last scene we see is like Theo like I don't know how does Theo feel about this like it's not hypocrisy, but this
I think it saddens him because he realizes now that like I think he's even though like he acted out like that and stuff like that, I think he was more optimistic at this point. That like you know what, like they're just some bad apples, but like we can really fix this. And I think he's really seeing just how far this infection has spread, right? Of like no, this idea and mentality is pervasive. That like the people at the top are utterly superior, and like any destruction of any kind, it's like no, like I oppose any change that would influence me or my personal status, right? Like they're very very much like anti anything. So like this is a huge front that like their house has slid down. Like this is like worse than your family getting killed, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like I can't get my house back up there. Like how am I getting my house up there? Like I'm stuck here now. My life is ruined, right? It's like I just
20 meters.
Yeah.
20 meters lower than it used to be.
yeah,
Somebody gonna do
that's
it
like
my way.
I just lost my life savings, right? It's like like to
Yeah.
them, it's like my life status savings is gone. Like, I think probably Theo would end the scene inviting the guy to be like, well, listen, I'm going to the sepulcher. I think the sepulcher is still okay because it's inside the mountain. Maybe you should come in there and pray.
Um,
What does Jen do? Or not Jen, excuse me, Thaddeus.
I think Thaddeus. I think Thaddeus will go. Maybe he'll be able to.
Begrudgingly, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the scene. Was there any consequence to that antagonist fallen?
I don't think. I think the only consequence is just cementing Theo's beliefs. But
Sure.
like, as for like external, I don't think so.
But what about society as a whole? After like, is everyone okay with like just
Oh yeah, I guess
people not caring?
Yeah, so I'd say there's some disruptions definitely from like about all these things sliding down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this like
So
never
maybe,
happens.
yeah.
This is a very rare. This is a freakish
Right,
event.
yeah. So after this, there's probably going to be a lot of like things are going to be very busy trying to get these people back, and not even to like move the worry isn't about to fix the damage and to move them back up. It's about, well, now where am I going to live?
Yeah.
Like, I want to move even higher now because of this inconvenience.
Yeah, like it's what do you call it when you sue and you get more than what was wrong for like
Yeah,
wrongdoing?
like grievances.
Punitive damage. Is it punitive damage?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, it's like that sort of thing. Yeah, totally.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens from that in a different scene. So, Fallen, your turn to make a scene.
Okay. So
I think an interesting scene to see would be like seeing some of the people on the lower half of the mountain. Like I feel like people just don't give away positions. Like and like there are like even less and less like positions now because like that part of the mountain has like slid down. So I think that they're more willing to like I don't know if say fight, but they're doing more than just like trying to ask and beg for higher positions on the mountain.
Yeah, like they're getting upset. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe something to do with that.
Growing discontent for sure.
I can frame a scene without humility being present. Can I? Or
yeah,
Yes.
no, absolutely.
okay.
The only person that has to be present, I believe, is the
hero, exactly.
Okay, cool.
And then you could describe the other people as either fallen or pillars or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so I think maybe after this landslide kind of thing, after Theo's gone out to the sepulcher, he's like going back down, and maybe just like he doesn't want to go home. Maybe humility is there, and he knows he's just gonna get more, and so he like doesn't go home. He goes down. He goes down further than he usually does, and there's like a very large like it's like he comes across like a gathering like doing like a part of like an opening, like a square, like a bit large like meeting place, and so there's like an official from the our generic government kind of like expressing the news about what happened, just telling everybody, and he's very fallen in that he's like this means you're all some of you may have to move lower, some of you will have to provide services to help with this.
The repairs and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Any of you who are any whose names fall under this list will have to pay reparations. Like.
Oh my God. Yeah, totally.
Like that, yeah. And so he's just like saying that, and like the crowd's very angry. Like I don't know if like they're not rioting yet, but it's just like, are you kidding me? Like this is ridiculous. Like you can't just come down here and do this to us.
Yeah.
And so like Theo comes like so I guess the scene like comes into play as he like as most of you know, 2 hours ago there was a landslide up in the second tunnel. So many levels of people have been scattered. There was damages to some homes, and some were moved into a lower position than they should be. We are looking to do our best that we can to fix all of this. and so we are going to require help from people of this level. Excuse me. So we've decided that, judging by names and the true geological positioning of your home center, you will be required to. Yeah, there'll be some small tax changes based on names and your positioning of your home. So if you would please come up and find your name on the lists, the names on this list will be increased by 20%. The names on this list will be increased by 10%. If your name falls on this list, you are subject to assistance because of the dislocation of your home, and you're basically going on and on like that. And people are just kind of like starting to realize. I guess it's
pillars.
A of like,
I think the pillar should answer that. Mm-hmm. Which how are people feeling about this change now?
I think it depends on which like bracket, which like category they fall into. I think like the people who like need help, or the ones who are high up and need help, are just taking whatever they can take. Like, oh, you want to give me stuff so that I can get myself back up? Like they're all for it. The people who have to like give.
What about the crowd down here? Yeah.
Like the crowd down at the bottom is super angry. Like they all think that this is bullshit, that they have to give up like whatever they work for because they're just lower and nothing happened to them.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
So they still have to give it up anyway.
And so Theo's just seeing this take place, just like
it's like, so some people do it, like, so some people give up whatever they have to begrudgingly. Some people like are like just outright refuse and like fuck that. Like they already live higher up on the mountain. They already have access to all the resources. Why the fuck do they need our help?
Yeah. I think the hero formerly known as Theo, I think he can't help but speak up at this point. I think he actually calls out and he's like, "No, don't listen to him." In like a defiant way.
The man up like on the stage or like whatever. Like,
the demagogue
like, calling out, and he like immediately frowns and like, "You have no place here."
And he's like, "This wasn't your fault. You don't owe them anything."
Yeah, you're right. And people like
people are like listening to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You chose to cast away your own name. You have no place to say what happens here.
I cast away my name like I would any other chains that bind me. I encourage everyone here to do the same. Let's stand up for what's ours.
All right, the guy kind of look around like, I think there was maybe like guards or something off to the side, and they weren't like, really doing anything because it was all kind of calm. But he looks over to them and just kind of like, okay, time to.
And yeah, I think some of the people in the crowd are like, "You're fucking right." And some people are like ripping off their bracelets and like throwing to the they're throwing it at the guy like, "You want your fucking name? Like fucking take it, you piece of shit." And they just hurl the fucking thing like at him.
Oh, nice. So like a rebellion, or like a defiance thing.
Okay, yeah, he's like motioning for like that
guards.
Like, guards basically coming to like calm this, and he hurries off the stage to stop getting pelted with bracelets.
So what's the consequence for this?
Theo's gonna have some stuff like probably coming to him definitely now because this is basically a small riot and rebellion kind of thing. So like it's very clear where he stands now. And so and then also just as a more society-based thing, it's definitely going to come down on this general region or this level of the thing. So like if they were upset at the consequences before that they had to pay, they're going to be much more upset now that they've rebelled. Depending on what happens, I guess they're going to be much more upset.
Oh no, you get to decide the consequence, man. So like, what happens to this rebellion right now? Like do they squash it?
I think.
Do they have to pay like extra now, or?
Yeah. So this one they do. So they capture like the most violent people, or like the biggest supporters or whatever, and they bring them in, and I think they basically try to find out what their names, since they threw theirs away. They try to like look through the records and find out what their actual names are and such. And then I think they punish them by making that name not as good as not even as good as it once was. Like they go into the name registry and like move it to a different section. And so like they were
Ooh.
named Gary, and Gary was like maybe like middle tier. It's now like lower
As
tier.
Gary is as a name.
Yeah. But now Gary's like, oh, like and like there's like now like maybe like a couple days later there's like an official like every once in a while there's like a new like there's a like almost like in like a newsletter kind of way. It's like names that are good these days, like names that are hot, names that have gone down, and like a lot of the names that were there have gone down like significantly, and so
Awesome.
as a result of that, they have to pay a lot more taxes and such to help with the
Oh yeah,
reparations.
they hate this now.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay.
Cool.
I think the Fallen gets to make a
Cool.
scene. Or was that the Fallen? That was
Yeah,
your scene?
yeah, that was mine. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Rotate the hats. So now I am the Fallen. Ryan, you're the
I am
hero.
Pillar.
You're the pillar.
Mm-hmm.
Cool beans.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, no, not you. I think let's do some education.
Cool. Yeah, that's something we haven't seen a lot.
Yeah.
Cool. So what
So I think what do I want to see be explored?
yeah, and when?
Mm-hmm.
I think I want a flashback.
Sure.
I want to see a scene, but before the riots like go, where what do I want to see about a hero?
Yeah, with education, it can go a lot of ways. Like, is it
I
his
think-
education? Is it
I think it's about his education.
Mhm.
Is
Okay.
what I'm picturing. I think school should be the first place. This will be like the first time that Theo like he's had his name, but he hasn't like and nothing's like significance come out of it until he has to go to his school, and like just because like of his name, I think he's treated differently, and
Mhm.
this is the first
Oh,
time he
yeah.
recognizes like the status and prestige of
Yeah.
like of the name of like how powerful names really are.
Oh yeah, totally. I think you're
So I think we're like some cafeteria or something, and like Theo's like
Oh, so you get to the
teenager.
popular table?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like Theo's sitting
Awesome.
Theo's
Oh,
having
yeah.
lunch with like
Cool.
like some of the like one of the like
The cool kids.
one of like the
Oh
better,
my
like,
god.
of the cool looking yeah.
Yeah,
One
no,
of the
no.
cool kids like invites him over to the table, and
Yeah, so know what you have to do though to get to the table? There's a consequence to getting invited to that table. You have to go by your the friends who go to this school who you grew up with like as a kid.
yeah, before you had like a real name. Or,
Yeah, right. Or like and like you see them like in like the shitty table,
Yeah.
like the bronze tier table.
Yeah, you would sit down with them, but one of them invites you. and
Yeah,
then-
exactly. And they're like and they all look at you. And what do you do?
I think he asked like, can we just sit together, man? Like,
And the popular table gives you like these weird looks. I guess no. I guess that'd be pillar. I'm overstepping my bounds. That's what the pillars do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think maybe like the one of the sides.
I think the other
Five
thing is that Jen's probably at the crappy kids table.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
probably.
Yeah, and like someone's inviting him to like the popular kid table.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So Jen, like
So I think one of the popular kids should you should play one of the popular kids, Eric, and then
Okay.
Jen can play himself as the pillar and see how
Yeah.
the regular
Okay.
people react to how
Yeah,
their
yeah.
how
So
their status really
Theo's like
is.
kind of like
Oh my
walking
god.
in or whatever, and
So
then Jen
like
like yeah.
so there's some like preppy white kid with like like the sweepy hair or whatever,
Yep.
and this was like, Theo, what are you doing? What are you doing at this table? Like, come on, man! And he like grabs you by the arm.
Oh, sure, and he gets up and like grabs his lunch or whatever, and like
Why?
and
Why?
he like motions to Jen like, hey, come on.
Yeah, and he looks at
Uh,
you and he's like, Why would you? Why would you even sit with those guys? That's so weird. Like, you're like,
Uh,
you're funny, man. Like, way to like slum it or like whatever. He like nudges you, and like this is like audible to Jen and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like, how do those people? How do the less fortunate people feel about like
I think
this sort of like open superiority?
it's I think it's since they're all pretty young, I think it's fairly new to them, and so they're like taken aback a little bit. Like, wait, we just got these names, and now you're already making it up to be this big deal. Like, so I think like they're like a couple of ones are like talking with each other, just like looking at like being weird looks or whatever, and then Jen, hey, last year it didn't even matter.
Oh yeah.
None of us had names.
Yeah, you see, I think Theo like looks back at Jen and looks at like all the cool kids, and I think, I guess I'll see you later. And he like he definitely goes to sit with the other people.
Hmm.
With the popular people.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and the entire time he's like listening and laughing. He's like every couple seconds like he's glancing over at like the other table and sees like probably like the mean mugging stares.
Yeah, I think Jen's
Status
yeah.
difference.
I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
what Jen is, but I think I can definitely see some of Jen's friends being like fallen, who are like, I feel like they feel almost like betrayed, like Theo is like better, like he is better than them, and maybe they even know it, but they still like, nah, he's one of us though. Like, why couldn't I be that? And
Yeah.
they kind of resent you. Like, there's a lot of resentment, not necessarily hate, but just like reserved resentment. Like, man, like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's probably on the in that table. There's probably a few pillars that are just, and then maybe this is where Jen starts to be like, I guess
That's
this
just
is
how
what
it
happens.
is.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like something like, well, he's named Theo. What did you expect?
Yeah. Oh, and then like he gets him in line that way, and then they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like we don't need that.
Like,
We don't
his
need
name
him.
is Theo.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
this wasn't gonna
Awesome.
come out any other way.
Awesome. Cool.
I
Good
think
scene.
that's the scene. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Um.
Hammer that nail in, Fallen.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a scene where some of the people who don't like Theo for what he did. I think I'm thinking if they're either gonna like try to like physically hurt you, or if they're gonna like go like totally like a passive aggressive kind of approach to like tormenting you. I like passive aggressive more. What's up?
What if they mess up his name on purpose?
Ooh. Yeah, no, they do. Totally. People call you Ted.
Fucking Ted.
They're like whatever, like they're Theo or whatever, and it's like, nah, you're always gonna be Ted to us. So like, you see, and I think they know that like it's actually like a pejorative to you, maybe, but like maybe they rub it in to realize like we've been calling you Ted your whole life, right, or whatever, and like that's your like what we know you as, and so you're always gonna be that way. And maybe now they're like rubbing it in, like, in a way, like they realize that it's a pejorative now, and they're like, hey Teddy, what's up? So yeah, I feel like one of the guys like sees you in the hallway. And he's like, "Yo, Teddy, what's up, man? How are those advanced classes that you got into?"
He's like, shut up, man. You know my name's Theo now.
Nah, see, me and my boys are always gonna call you Teddy, because you're just a cuddly little bear. And he like grabs your cheek. And he's like, "What's up, man?"
I think he shoves you. Theo, I think it just like
Oh,
shoves you.
ooh,
Just, like, shoves you with all of his strength against the wall. Like, fuck off,
Oh.
man.
And like he throws him back. He's like, "Oh," and he like brushes himself off, like his prep jacket off or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, that was a uncivil response. What's got in what crawled up in your bed?"
I've never been good at witty banter.
You know, we're just playing with you, man. Come on, Ted. Come on. Like we've been boys.
If you say Ted again, I think he's like totally ready to punch you in the face. Yeah, Theo definitely like.
Oh, he punches you? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
if you
sure.
say Ted again, he just nails you in the face.
Okay, sure. Like you hit him, and like he wipes the blood from his cheek or whatever, right? Like, you know, he does that classic anime move where like he takes the blood from his mouth or whatever. You know what I mean? And like tastes it, and he's like, didn't know we're gonna have to go this route. And all right, I see how it is. And I think like his Fruit Squad friends go to try to beat you up.
All right, roll for initiative.
I think it's,
Yeah. I mean, I'll leave it to you.
I think
what
this would be
happens.
like a great time for just to put the small seed where it's not like.
It's about a name. Yeah, it's like what? It's like why? What's the big deal about a name, man?
I think
They're
this would
literally
be
fighting because of a name.
And he's fighting on the other side.
Yeah, I think this would be the perfect time for Jen and like his old friends to come up and come help him. Like it doesn't matter what like. So what if I have the name Theo? I should hang out with the people who actually like matter to.
Yeah, I think. So I guess if I can. So yeah, eventually like Jen and maybe a couple people come up and help, but it's
Help who?
They're talking.
They help Theo.
Well, I think it's more about they break up like.
They break it up.
Yeah, the fight ends up like ending.
Yeah.
And then but like so maybe Jen and Theo are like sitting outside or whatever and like.
They were definitely probably like, sitting outside like the principal whatever's fucking office like.
Yeah, like dude, like so were these guys that like antagonized him like lesser?
Oh yeah.
Like, they had like a little lower name. Okay, yeah, it's like, dude, and it's like there's like, I don't know, man. They're
I think
jealous.
I think Theo apologizes to about for the lunch thing.
What whatever, man. I can't expect you to hang around us for forever after you got that name. I mean, those other guys are just jealous too. Like, I mean, you get to be named Theo. You're gonna go do awesome things.
The current headmistress of the academy, or we said Summit School. They went to Summit School.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's like probably like a guy or something, and they're like, "Theo, my office now," you know, and like that would be like the scene.
Yeah, and he like sighs and
the
door.
Right.
We see him walk in, and the door closes.
So some sort of academic probation consequence for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but of course he's gonna get off the hook because of his name.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I didn't start the fight. I'm Theo. Like.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So it's like, it's so good. I love it.
Yeah. I definitely wanted the Pillars' interference to not be, no, this is wrong because it's a fight and like you guys should be getting along. No, they're just jealous. They started a fight because they want your name.
Yeah, like it's people getting used to the superiority, like the new the new overall hierarchy of names.
Yeah, because like before they were all basically equals, and now that they all have names, it's like, oh well, now just for seemingly no reason, these 12 people are better than all of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like names. Maybe you have it like you get a name early, but it's like its prominence or status doesn't happen until you go to these schools. Mm-hmm. And like it's like maybe the schools help like separate that, just how schools try to separate themselves, and like and then like it's kind of like, so that's why you had a name like you know, like you're Jenny from the block when you're Jennifer Lopez, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're Teddy when you're growing up because you weren't Theo because you're no longer like you're when you're a kid, like names don't really, like
Yeah.
their status. Maybe you kind of know it's important, but like you're called by a
Mm-hmm.
nickname or whatever, and it's not appropriate anymore. It would be like it would be like another prime minister going to like, yo, Barry O, what's up, man? Right? Like it would be something like you don't do that,
Yeah.
and
For sure.
and like that's kind of what you're doing. So,
Alright, cool.
But I'm still Jenny from the block.
yeah, good reference, right?
Yep.
Cool. That was my fallen scene.
Yes, it was.
So now we rotate the hats again.
Yep.
But we should also ask if
Yeah.
we're getting close to near the end.
I think we're getting close. If not
Yeah.
this one, I think.
Probably the next one. Yeah, either this one or the next
So
one. Probably.
yeah, I think this one will probably be the last one, and then we can finish up with the epilogue stuff and the collapse. Because I like it. I like how we've been doing like push forward, flesh out, push forward, flesh out,
Yeah,
like backwards. I like this sort of pacing that we ended up on. So yeah, let's continue. So
Right. I'm the hero.
I am the pillar.
I'm in the fallen.
Awesome. We're going to do either art or religion, I think, or maybe more education, or maybe love or economics or naming.
I think we should do economics because it's definitely like the most like overarching.
Yeah.
It's the
You know-
largest thing that could push things.
Yeah, I'm gonna make, and plus
Any
that was
direction.
tying in with the most recent like disaster and how people are economically changing now because of the depression. Totally. So economics will be the tradition that we are examining.
Okay, cool. I have an idea.
Okay.
Go work.
So Theo is Humility is out. Like maybe she's working or something. Like either like maybe it's like in the middle of the day and Theo didn't go to work today.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
so-
Theo. I
And
think
so like
Theo's-
Humility's out doing her thing, and so he's just at home, just kind of like thinking and fuming and just all about what happened. Maybe this is like the week after the landslide, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna need a fallen to play the guy that comes up to tell him that now without a name he can't live here anymore.
Ooh.
Oh shit. Nice.
And
Okay.
so that Theo's just in the main living quarters of their home.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you get there's a knock on the door.
Mm-hmm. Like he sets it like he was like he's drinking like a little bit, like nothing strong, just like maybe like an ale or something, and he sets it down and stands up and goes in. He like opens the door.
Yeah, and
Yes, can I help
there's
you?
like a well-dressed man who's it's probably one of your coworkers, who's like in the government or whatever, and it's he comes and he says Theo or how do they refer to people who like this has never happened before. I don't know how they would refer to someone who's throwing away their like name.
Yeah, I guess.
Throwing
Yeah.
your life away. So I'll just call you Theo to make it easy, but he says something like I don't even know.
Yeah, I get maybe to you he's probably still Theo, but to me I'm not Theo anymore. So maybe it's like, okay, well you are still Theo.
Yeah, so,
unless-
he's like super confused. Like I don't know what to call you, but Theo.
Yes. Well, like
You have to.
I'm not quite Theo anymore.
He rubs his head. Yeah. Well, because of that, you can't live here anymore, man.
Excuse me?
He hands you like a paper that and the document reads
It's like an eviction notice or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've lost your status.
I just
Yeah,
like the eviction notice wouldn't be you owe us rent. It's your name isn't good enough to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like aggressively takes it from you and just like looks at it and like You can't be serious.
Oh, can I add another thing to it?
Uh huh.
Sure.
You know, the guy who signed it was Thaddeus.
Oh shit.
Like who signed? Not he's not delivering the eviction notice. He signed the
Yeah,
eviction
he
notice.
signed
Uh
it.
huh.
Yeah, so you see Daddy's name signed at the
Yeah,
bottom
just go there.
Yeah.
Like,
to evict you.
Totally.
Thaddeus, he like words almost look like just like sudden like another rush of anger is just like I helped him the other day. We went to the sepulchre to pray, and he's going to do this. You were going to do this to me?
Not like this. Not like this.
This.
Humility. So you expect humility and I to move? Just
No, just you.
oh shit.
Yes. Oh my God, Ryan, you freaking, oh, you wizard. That's so good. That's so good. Yes.
And his mouth.
Humility's name is still high enough. Yours, you have to go live at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, with the
but-
riffraff.
You don't even
can't
have any.
live like
Yeah.
in the middle. Like he has to. Yeah. And he just like
I don't have to call the guards, but you have like till the end of the day to get all your stuff and leave, or we'll forcibly move you out.
Oh my God.
And yeah, he has the note, and then he crumples it and just like tosses it at you, and then
Theo, like, and he grabs the note
Yeah.
and like pulling it like, you can't ignore this.
oh, I'm not going to ignore it. And then yeah, he like slams the door in your face, and then scene.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
That was
Dude, that was so good, guys. That was such a good scene. Ah. All right, I think this will be then the last scene, probably, and then we'll do the collapse.
yeah.
So
So I think it'll be
the fallen can give consequences to that stuff.
Oh yeah, he's definitely getting thrown out. I'm
Mhm.
just deciding if I want to see him like. What do I want? I think I want to see him how he reacts to getting like forcibly removed from his house.
I'm not sure exactly what he's going. I feel like he's going to like not. Yeah, he's like. I don't think he. At this point, he doesn't want to stay there anymore.
Okay.
That makes
he
sense.
gets his things that he actually considers his, and like leaves, but not to go. Oh, I'm going back down to the bottom of the mountain. I'm going to go do something now. What we can probably cover what that is in the collapse, but like this is I think that's the point where he's like, whether maybe he's going to see humility or something, but like he's leaving the home forever, and now he's going to.
Oh yeah. I would
Yeah,
love.
okay,
I mean,
so this
is just,
personally,
like-
one last scene with humility would be awesome for me.
Yeah.
For me, I love it because that's how. That's. Can it also be one thing?
Uh-huh.
Can I make a humble suggestion?
Sure.
Maybe it's the spot where they got proposed again at the start.
Oh.
Yes.
In just a very poetic thing, because of how it started.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to
So-
be. I don't really care. It's not my.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not my
that's
space
much.
to say it.
I think humility should that's super cool. Humility should totally confront Theo at the spot where they propose on the bench or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's probably like berating him for like being nameless, for like now he has to move. Like, you could have just accepted your name, accepted the position, and you've thrown it away. And for what?
Mhm. Yeah. So did we?
Yeah, for
I guess,
what?
Did we
Yeah.
meet? Did we agree to meet here? Did I guess maybe Theo went to.
I think it's
Is that
it's just
important?
by chance.
Yeah.
Like you're deciding about what Theo's deciding about what he's gonna do, and humility just like is like on a walk or something,
Mhm.
or she's like probably on her way home from the school.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and she sees you sitting on the bench, and she like goes over to talk to you, and she's like,
Yeah, and like
happy
he's
now?
sitting on the
Like-
bench and he has like a small pack with him of like his things.
and
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I see you got the notice. Are you happy now? Is this what you wanted?
You knew about this?
Of course, I wasn't gonna live with someone without a name.
And he's like shakes his head and like,
I told you that. Yeah, I told you that if you didn't
Mhm.
go apologize to the Stone Father, that this would happen. That I wouldn't just let this sit.
32 years ago, I brought you here so our lives could become one. I didn't care. I didn't care that you were named humility. I didn't care that you were higher than I was. And he like looks at her like, I loved you because of who you were, and I can't believe that this is all going to collapse simply because.
Could have just had your name. You could have had everything.
But what is a name? Is nothing. A name is a word. This is a bench. We are apex. It could have been anything. It could have been
So good.
the mountain. It could have been. It doesn't matter.
It could have been anything, but it is Apex, and my name is Humility, and you are no longer Theo.
But a name isn't. A name shouldn't mean what your life should amount to be. It should be what you do with it.
And look what you've done.
It's what you do that defines you.
Bruce Wayne.
And now Apex has Batman. No,
Just like goes
sorry.
and goes around the night, just taking everyone's bracelet.
Fuck.
I don't think one decision at the beginning of one's life should matter in what happens to them.
You're right,
This
it isn't. And you had the name Theo, you got lucky, and now look what you've done with it. You've thrown it away, you've thrown everything into the trash.
Theo is trash, but I am not.
We'll see. And I think she's like, she's done with this conversation now. Like she can barely stand talking to the person who is named Theo.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And yeah, I think it ends with I wanted to take you. Did we ever come up with a name for our false peak?
I don't
That
think
doesn't
so.
actually exist or
Sunrise?
whatever?
Sunrise Peak?
Huh?
You mean Sunrise Peak or the one that we're at
Well,
now?
Because there's Sunrise Peak, which is another one, but then there's like the very top of the mountain,
Oh, no.
like the actual like the
Apex?
the tallest thing.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure if we ever named it or not.
Call it
but
Peak. Peak Park.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something.
Peak Park. Yeah, sure. And like Peak Park's always been like, oh, Peak Park, blah blah blah. But I tried to take you to Peak Park, but they turned down my request.
She turns around, or she's like walking away, and she turns her head to face you, and she's like, and I guess I'm turning you down now too. And then she like turns away, and she like her head like looks away from you again. She continues to walk away from you.
Mm-hmm.
God, this is just like a juicy anime.
I know. It's so good. It's so good.
So good. All right. So now we do the collapse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're ready for the collapse part.
Yes, we are.
Funny
Destroy
in
the
book.
world.
So after we roleplayed the last scene, each player gets to narrate a final short moment as Haven collapses. If we haven't seen the Haven collapse yet, this is the time to describe its destruction, or sort of the aftermath of what's to follow after he gets kicked out. So now we give the Pillar's current player the index card with Haven's information on it. So that would be me. And then I'm going to be passing it to the right. So I'm going to describe my thing first, then Adam, then Ryan, in terms of the little vignettes about the collapse. Okay. I see in the park near the bench, perhaps like right off the part where it's like a paved path and grass, the camera zooms in, and in like the dirt and stuff are two rings next to each other. And we know that at this point in the quote unquote movie, those were the rings belonging to the one known as Theo and the one and humility.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my little.
Cool.
I want to leave the actual state of Haven and everything else to everybody else.
Uh-huh.
That was more important to me. I feel like Theo lost his world more than anything. So like,
I think so. We see like nighttime in the name offices. The camera is kind of like looking, like the camera's like looking down, and it's just kind of like moving very slowly, and we see like the door is like thrown open and like off its hinges a little bit, and there's a knocked out guard there, and it's like it kind of zooms in and looks around, and then it comes up and goes past Jen's spot, and then past Theo's spot, and then to the Chamber of Names, and we just see like there's another door at the end of the hall that like we see like the very edge of Theo as he's walking out of it, and the door shuts, and the camera turns, and you see like a bright flash as the mountain of names
lights
goes ablaze.
Nice.
We really did have Batman. Solid. I saw it.
Not about the money, it's about making a statement.
Oh my god, that's so good. All right, Ryan.
I think through the hero's perspective, I think that the final scene that we get to see is of the hero looking at his the from the bottom. He's looking up toward the peak, and along the mountainside he sees like I think the rebellious anger among the people has come to a climax, and they're like rushing up and like taking the whatever names they want. So like I'm sure
yeah, it's like a revolution.
Just one. Yeah,
it's like full throws of revolution. Oh, they won.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the last thing that we see before we fade out.
Oh my god, it was like a Hunger Games. That was awesome. Wow. So that's the game. That's Downfall, guys.
Sweet.
That's Downfall by Caroline Hobbs. I totally had her name misspelled the whole time. I feel so bad about it.
Oh, jeez.
I added an E in her last name, and I'm so sorry, Caroline. If you ever end up watching this at some point, I'm so sorry. But I fixed it. I fixed it at hour 3. So I might go back and just Photoshop the rest or something. Anyways, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it. I know we just finished our 3rd hour, and I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I would love to hear your guys' thought of this as a game. What you liked, what you didn't like.
It's very interesting to know the outcome before you even begin, to know that everything that we do and everything that we have is going to fail.
Yeah.
That is super cool. And
because you normally play to
figure out what happens.
Yeah, only you know what happens. We're playing to find out how it happens.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yes, very cool.
What do you think, Ryan?
I think the pacing is a little shaky.
Yeah. The game does not offer you a lot in terms of narrative structure.
For sure.
It's very much like just make some scenes, and when you're done, you're done. You know it.
Yeah. You'll just know, and it helps to like.
Yes.
I also feel like
very much up to us.
Yeah. There's no like it does the I don't know if I haven't read the whole thing, but I don't know if it like does it tell you like I feel like each scene to like slowly push toward the
an epic it should.
Yeah, but there's like I don't think there's anything in the rules that say like each scene like ends with like specifically Fallout this or the Fallen causes like
it might To be fair, I didn't read it. I only read the general steps and playing off what my recollection was when playing this in real life. So that's it's very well possible.
Yeah. Well, that's a big. The whole thing with like after each one, we were talking about what the Fallen would say, like, are there consequences to this? Like, what happens as a result of this? So, I think it's kind of I think it's kind of just as a result of however we want to.
Well, the fallen as a person is supposed to do that. Like at the very bottom of their sheet, it says to make the hero's actions have a consequence. Use the phrase, but there is a consequence.
Yeah.
Which is very much like in the style of Polaris. So if you guys like this game, I recommend checking out this game called Polaris, which is similar to a Society on the Downfall, but it's like a Twilight magic era based in the North Pole. It's super cool. It also could work really well with Jedi. I actually might do that here with Jedi. Anyways, that's beyond the scope. I love the setup of this game.
Yeah.
I think the setup is absolutely perfectly designed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could not believe like we spent an hour doing it because it just felt like, well, yeah, I mean this is what's going to happen. This is going to be the thing.
Like
the world.
I really like picking the broad concepts of the traditions and then narrowing their scope of like, well, how does this relate to the flaw? Like, what is it? Like, what is this random thing? And then it relates to the flaw in this way. And then here's how it's represented in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
very cool.
I think the first time I played this game, what stood out to me were the elements section of this game. So like the elements, they're nothing but seeds for everything else. Like it's all about the tradition and how the tradition goes into the flaw. But I feel like the elements are essential, but not like a visible part of that arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I thought it was really cool.
We started off with 3 words: mountain, empire, and dream, and ended up with what we have here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really enjoyed this game, guys.
Yes.
Final thoughts or anything like that, guys, before we go?
I'm just, these games are awesome. Just 3 hours ago, Apex wasn't a thing, and now it's a thing.
Yeah, and it went into the throes of Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, last words, thoughts?
I had an enjoyable time. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, awesome. So this has been episode 15 of Once Upon a Game, where we play Downfall. If you're interested in this kind of content, this will be going on my YouTube channel, as well as my VODs here on Twitch. And if you want to see more of this, I will be streaming Fiasco tomorrow, Monday at 9 o'clock Pacific. So I'll be doing that, and Wednesday. So
is that AM or PM?
PM.
There you go.
So maybe I'll see you guys then. So otherwise, it's me signing out. Thanks again to my wonderful group of friends, Ryan and Adam. Thanks a lot.
It was awesome.
So, and thank you, chat, for tuning in. So,
yes, thank you.